Jacob's name was changed to Israel. He had 12 sons. They became the 12 tribes of Israel.
That's
All right. Now, still in the same book. Still in the same book. Follow me. Go to Exodus 11 and 7. Right. So I'm skipping a few things because I'm going to get to the main point here in a second.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I get that, I understand that.
Right. You want to know how we know we're different?
My bloodline, we've all traveled. My bloodline could be missing some of any of this.
It could.
How do I know that I'm an Israelite? How do I know I'm from Judah? Or how do I know that? Because we all at the same, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's a good question. That's a good question.
And before this, like, we all were traveling all around the world. We were all nomadic.
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
Black people were nomadic, period, and had different tribes. I agree to that, but go ahead.
That's a very good question. I'm sorry, what's your name one more time? Crescenda and Dante. Very good question. Read what you got. I just want to still dealing with the Egyptians, then I'll go to that next question, all right? All right, watch this.
Exodus chapter 11, verse 7.
Read it out.
But against anybody
have a Bible dictionary? Read.
But against any of the children of Israel.
Now remember, we was in Egypt during this time. So who was we? We was in Egypt, and who were we in servitude to? The Egyptians. We were building the pyramids and things like that. Israel was. All right. So read.
But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue.
So the Lord was saying, Israelites are my people. Not even other nations or even their animals supposed to have anything negative to say about Israel, because those are his chosen people. Read.
Against man or beast.
They're not supposed to talk about our animals, because even our animals was better than theirs. Read.
That ye may know.
That ye may know.
How that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
So we're different people. He put a difference between us. So now how do we know we're not African or Egyptian or whatever? None of us can truly say, okay, look, test my blood against original Egyptian to know if I was Egyptian or this or that. So the Lord gives us clues. He gives us clues. Go to, what you got? Oh, you got Zondervan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, read that.
This is the Zondervan.
So look, this is a Bible dictionary, right? So Zondervan Bible Compact Dictionary. He's going to read Ham. So Africa, before it was called Africa, you know what it was called? With the what?
With the M?
No, it was actually called the land of, well, basically Ham, right? Watch this.
The definition of Ham. The youngest son of Noah.
So are you familiar with Noah?
Yes.
Noah had 3 sons, right? You know their names? Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Okay? Many people ignorantly believe we come from Ham. So-called black people come from Ham. That's what they believe. Well, watch this. So we're reading the definition of Ham. This is a Bible dictionary. All right?
The definition of Ham.
Come on.
The youngest son of Noah.
The youngest son of Noah, right?
Born probably about 96 years before the flood.
Before they went into the ark. Come on.
And one of 8 persons to live through the flood.
So only 8 people survived the flood, right? The 3 sons, their wives, plus Noah and his wife, all right? Come on.
He became the progenitor
Ham became the progenitor, meaning the father of, right? Of what?
Of the dark races.
Of the dark races. So all the dark people, he became the father of them. But hold on, what does it say? Yes, dark, meaning skin was dark, of the dark races. Watch this. Not what?
The Negroes.
He was not the father of the Negroes. We didn't come from Ham. All right?
We have to go. This is my ride. I don't mean to be very disrespectful.
Well, but you asked the question and we answered it.
I'm just waiting for the, because I'm still not getting the answer that I'm trying to look for. Like,
okay.
I still don't understand the word. How I can identify that.
Give me that Romans 8:16.
Yes, sir.
Watch this.
I'm going to
give you one scripture.
I have to go. This is my ride.
Let me give you one scripture.
Romans chapter 8.
Is our email address and all that stuff. Reach out to it. We have a website too. You go stuff up too.
Y'all should come to our
Romans chapter 8, verse 16.
Look it out. We know. There's many other scriptures I can take you, but you're pressed for time. So the Spirit
itself beareth witness with our spirit.
So the Spirit, when we read this, there's a spirit in these words right here that bears witness with our spirit that what?
That we are the children of God.
That's how we know. So when I read this Bible, when I read certain scriptures like the dress code for men and the dress code for women, I read that and I'm not offended. I don't fight against it.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Right.
Yeah. So finish reading that. Read it again.
The Spirit itself.
Brother, what's your name?
This happens to our people.
Marquise? How you doing?
I asked these on the bottom of their clothes. Eternity is Greek. They said the history about the Greek.
Okay, I want to read this and I get it down.
Romans chapter 8, verse 16.
Bring it out.
The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of God.
That we are the children of God. Our spirit bears witness with the scriptures that we know. That's how we know we are the children of God.
Amen.
Shalom Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today.
So you're part of the fraternities? Yes. Okay, good. Well, it's actually not good, but I'm saying at least I know where you're coming from. Yeah. Now, you said you know the history of the Greeks?
Yes.
Okay, and what's that history?
The history of the Greeks is definitely not a good history. I definitely know that the history of Greeks are...
Give me, go to Maccabees 1:1.
Bring it out.
You know what I want, right? Or it might be chapter 2. Give me when, go ahead, when Alexander. Maybe that's another second. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, the history of the Greeks is definitely impressive. I do know that. I joined the organization because we use the Greek origin to change the status quo. That's what I was told as far as the teachings of the organization were to give people like you and me the opportunity to commune, talk about what's going on, and then move forward from that. Of course, I understand. So move forward, because honestly, the only way that we're going to be able to move forward is together.
Okay. All right. So now you said a lot of different things that not biblically accurate. Okay. So we use this as our foundation. This is what we believe in, right? So all my answers are going to come from here. Okay. So starting off with starting off with the Greek history. Okay. So what were you doing? What was your forefathers doing in Greece at that time? When we was in Greece, what was it?
We were slaves.
And we were slaves. Now, watch this.
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1.
Bring it out.
And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece, and made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth.
So now, okay, is that everyone that? Go ahead, yeah, watch this.
Verse 11, in those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen.
So now the Israelites, hold on. So now the Israelites, we was in Greece, right? With the Greeks. And they're in power of everything, right? So they looked around and said, you know what, look, if we keep doing what we're doing, they're going to end up destroying us too. So let's join with them, make a covenant. And they tried to spread that to the rest of the Israelites. Okay, watch this.
Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
So since we left out of there, we done had a lot of sorrow. We can't get nothing because they're in rulership. We ain't got nothing. We in a lower state, right? Now watch the second Maccabees 6, or is there more on that? Second Maccabees 6 and 6, you know I'm on now, right? Now watch this. We still dealing with the Greeks. Watch this.
Second Maccabees chapter 6, verse 6.
Watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this.
Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days.
So now, when we with them, right? It wasn't lawful for us Israelites to keep our high holy days, starting with the Sabbath day, right? Read.
Or ancient feasts.
Or ancient feasts like what? Passover, Feast of First Fruits, Tabernacles, Purim. A lot of these things, most of these people haven't even heard of. You might not even heard of.
No, I definitely haven't.
Okay. No, I'm saying a lot of people might not. I said you might not, right? Read.
Or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
So we wasn't even allowed to call ourselves Jews at that time.
Bring it out.
So what would we call ourselves if we can't be called Jews?
Greeks.
Greeks.
That's right.
Greeks. Like today, if I say, what's your nationality, or what's your driver's license, I'm an American.
Right.
Right? But that's not your nationality.
Right.
Read.
And in the day of the king's birth, every month,
Watch this.
they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices.
So now we have to eat their foods.
Right.
We wasn't eating pork and stuff like that before
Right.
we was following
Right.
the biblical diet
That's
prior to that.
That's right.
But now we have to just celebrate. We got to eat pork and all other abominations to the Lord because we couldn't be ourselves. Read.
And when the feast of Bacchus was kept,
Now, have you heard of Bacchanal?
I've heard of it. I don't know what it is.
That's like in the Caribbean where they have like the Bacchanal parade and stuff. That's
Right,
when women
right,
be
right,
having
right.
the little bikinis on, shaking around and all that type of stuff.
Carnival.
Carnival, that's another word for it.
Yeah.
That's what this is. That's what it came from.
That's
right.
We
That's
have
right.
bitter constraints, carrying ivy and different things like that as a
Right.
parade. That's
Right.
a reception.
Right.
Right? Read.
the Jews were compelled to go in procession to Bacchus.
So we had to go in the parade, like you see some people today, in Bacchus. And guess what? You saw girls, women with little clothes on, shaking around. Come straight from the Maccabees right here. That's the Greek language. Right? Read on.
Carrying ivy.
Carrying ivy. So instead of having ivy right now, we got balloons and ribbons and feathers and all other stuff that we got in our hand. Read.
Moreover, there went out a decree to
There
the
went out a decree. Watch this. This is the important part. You got to get this part right
I'm
here.
listening.
Okay. You got to get this part right here. Watch this.
Moreover, there went out a decree.
Who can make a decree? Can I make a decree? If I made a decree, I make a decree that if anybody have a beanie cap on, they get to get tackled. Anybody gonna follow that decree?
I hope not.
Right, because I ain't got no power to do that, right? I ain't got no power to do that.
Yeah,
So
the
who
person
can make a decree?
The person that said
Who's ever at the top, whoever at the top.
That's right.
So so what happened with this decree? Watch this decree.
Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen.
So it went out a decree, not just here, but in all the cities around that they had control over. Watch this.
By the suggestion of Ptolemy,
Who was in charge at this time? Read.
against the Jews,
Against the Jews, and what this decree made us do.
that they should observe the same fashions.
So we had to keep their same fashions. What's this you got on there? Look like Greek letters to me.
Yeah.
We had to observe to keep the same fashions. Come on.
Yeah.
And be partakers of their sacrifices.
Of their what?
Of their
When you
sacrifices.
join that fraternity, you got to be online and stuff like that, right? And they beat the shit out of a lot of y'all.
I
And
don't
you
know
better not
anything
say
about that.
Oh, you know what happened when you go through fraternities and
I
stuff like
don't
that?
know anything
You
about
got to go through hazing and all that. They try to take some of it out, but you got to go through hazing. You got to do all kind of stuff to join a fraternity. They don't just let nobody, hey, let me join a fraternity. Okay, you're in. Let me give you a jacket. You got to go through initiation, right?
You have to learn some stuff. Yeah.
But you have to go through initiation, right? And some of that initiation is physical.
To learn
You know it is. Read.
Verse 9.
Right.
And whoso would not conform
Now,
themselves
whoso would not conform themselves to the rule or the decree of the Greeks, come on,
to the manners of the Gentiles,
which they are the Gentiles,
should be put to death.
they will be put to death. So now, when you was a Jew or an Israelite, you was like, man, I ain't gonna do that. I might do that in public, but in real life, I know, inside my home, I know who I am. I'm a Jew.
Right.
But they kept you keeping the Sabbath day or the Passover, they
it's
gonna
done.
put you to death.
It's done.
So guess what? Guess what we taught our children? Right, come on. Guess what we taught our children?
What?
We was teaching them to keep Passover. After that, it's like, hey, y'all keep Easter. Easter and Passover is not the same thing. So that's what they kept. So we keeping Easter. And guess what? Does that sound familiar? Same thing as slavery. Hey, when they had little children, son, you do what that white man saying, otherwise they're gonna kill you. Right?
Yeah, no,
Ain't nothing changed.
Yeah.
So we had to do that. That's how we picked up Christmas, Thanksgiving, Mama's Day, Father's Day, all the other type of stuff.
Right.
We got that from them.
Right.
That's the history of the Greeks.
Right.
Now give me that. It's Job, right? I want the one of Job. Job 14:4. Watch this. Now you said you took this Greek history and y'all trying to flip it and bring everybody together and everything else. But look what God said about that. Watch this.
Bring it
Job
out.
chapter 14, verse 4. Who can bring a clean thing
Now, the Lord saying, I'm sorry, one more time, what's your name was? Marquise. The Lord is saying, who can bring a clean thing
out of an unclean?
out of an unclean thing? Who can do that?
God.
Because but you're not God, right?
I'm not God.
So if you want to take the Greeks and flip it around and make it something good, you can't do that. That's
right.
an unclean thing. Like for instance, if I go down here, I bet I can find an old water bottle, right? Now if I take that old water bottle that's been on the ground and I put some Dasani water, something in there, something like that, the water clean, and I pour it in this bottle, are you going to drink that?
No.
No, it's an abomination to do that. Right.
She has to go to the back of my house.
Okay, listen, what's your name? Marquise, right?
Marquise.
Listen, you got a flyer?
I did get a flyer. I
Okay,
do have a flyer.
there's a website on the back.
Yeah.
Give us a call, phone number, a website, all that type of stuff. Reach out to us. We'll chop it up some more.
Thank you so
because
much.
listen, I'm gonna tell you, it really is a disgrace carrying another nation on there because of what they did to your forefathers.
Right.
They killed them. By that Greek letters and stuff.
I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children